Arsenal get a draw 1-1 to Manchester City yesterday. An interesting result, if you want to call it that. A lot to break down. Let's talk about it. Before we start this video, I just wanted to say I do have a cold right now, and I was a little busy this weekend. I was out with friends, so my voice is not where it needs to be right now. But regardless, we're not here to talk about my voice. We're here to talk about the game. And this was definitely a frustrating game. A frustrating game, in my opinion. Yes, of course, I am happy that they did score at the end, and I will get into more of that later. But just my initial thoughts before we look into the positives and negatives for this game for Arsenal. It was just frustrating. And for me, I said it in my last couple videos. I can't remember which one it was. I think it was the one against Liverpool. It's just the fact that Arteta is again going back to the midfield of Rice, Zubimendi, and Merino. And again, it's nothing to slight all of these players. But when you are playing 3 DMs and there's absolutely no creativity up front, it's just not a great product to watch, and it's not going to work. It's not going to result in creative football, free-flowing football. There's no chance for there to be a real threat on the attack. And in my opinion, I think this really sabotaged Arsenal throughout this game, specifically in the first half. So we'll talk about that. But yeah, those are my initial thoughts. Now let's at least get into the positives of the game. I would say after halftime, you could clearly see that Arsenal were, in my opinion, the better team than Manchester City. Now, again, I think that is due to the substitutes of having Saka and Eze on the pitch. But you could clearly see it. I mean, Arsenal finished with 62% possession to Manchester City's 38%. They were dominating the ball. They were the ones controlling the pace, but they just couldn't really get a goal until the last second. But overall, I thought when we actually had the lineup we wanted to play, I thought Arsenal looked a lot like the better team, in my opinion. And of course, as I just said, seeing Saka and Eze get minutes at the same time, that was great to see. I'm very excited to see this duo moving forward, whether it's Eze, playing in the midfield at the 10, or they have him on the left. We'll have to see what Arteta wants to do. But again, I think this duo is going to be such a good watch moving forward. And again, I'm just excited to see them both on the pitch, especially Saka as well. Him coming back from the injury, you don't want to rush him. But when he's ready to play, we're going to need him in big matches like that against, the big clubs. So I was just happy to see both of them back and actually play together. And touching on Eze, I thought he had a fantastic assist to Martinelli. I mean, it was a beautiful ball. Number one, the fact that he even risked, having that ball go where it was at that point in the game. I mean, it was about the 92nd minute. But Arsenal had to make something happen. And again, that is why you acquired Eze. In situations like this where you need to be creative, you need to get something going, he can do that. And he showed us that he can do that. So I'm really liking what I'm seeing from him from both, again, a passing standpoint. We still have to see him score, but his ability to create has been seen in numerous games now. So really liking what I saw. And again, it was a beautiful pass by him. And of course, the guy that finished the pass, Martinelli. Man, this guy's just doing a great job in his role. And I think this is the role moving forward for Martinelli. And I've been saying it's to have him as a super sub. When Martinelli comes on and there are, tired legs, he's one of the few guys out there with fresh legs. It is a problem for opposing teams. I mean, he is just quicker than a majority of players that play this game. And when he's on, he really is doing his thing. And again, he scored against Bilbao in the UCL. And then again, he scores against City yesterday. I was very reminiscent of his goal he had a couple years ago, but that ended up being a win. But still, it was great to see him score. I think he's getting his confidence back. And again, I just like the fight overall from the Arsenal team. The fact that they were fighting till the end to get a win. I overall like what I saw from Arsenal at the end, especially again in the second half. They need to build off that, and that's what we need to have moving forward to get this done and to be the team that we want to be. You have to have the attacking mindset. And again, I really like the fight from them. But that's what I would say is my main positive. I mean, I thought the defense played okay as well, but really seeing how City played with their formation, which I will get into, it really wasn't necessarily that impressive. And again, they still let up a goal. So one goal, we'll take it against City, but still, the defense needs to be better. Now to discuss the negatives for this team. And for me, I have to start with Arteta. And for me, it was a big thing with his mindset. Once again, as I stated in the beginning of the video, they go back to this Merino, Zubimendi, Rice midfield. And for me, And many people that watch, it's not working. And we're seeing that now on the pitch. It just does not work. There's absolutely no attacking creativity for this team. There's no threat when you have that as your midfield. And again, as I said, it's not against any of those players. They're all great players. But when you play those three, you just limit yourself so much from an attacking standpoint. And I just think Arteta, I hate to say it, and I questioned his tactics again against Liverpool. It's a similar thought process. It seems like he's almost scared to fully go for it in games like this. And this game just makes me question a lot with him moving forward. Again, look, I love what he brings. I love the stability he's given to this club. I love what he's done with the defense. I love a lot what he's done. But when it comes to the attack, especially in these big games against big clubs, I want to know what's going through his head. Why are you scared to start Eze? Because when I saw the lineup yesterday, my head dropped not seeing Eze in the starting lineup. And you just knew what you were getting. You knew you weren't going to get a lot of attacking talent out there, at least when it comes to the midfield. And I don't know, it's just very disappointing. It's disappointing because I really like this guy as a manager, but I have to point out the flaws. And my flaw here is really just that there's almost something in his brain that is scared to, I guess, go to the next level. I'm not sure what it is, but he needs to cut it out, in my opinion. He needs to cut it out. It's got to go. To win the Premier League, to win the UCL, you need to go for it. You cannot play for a draw. And again, there are times where that is a good idea. Excuse me. But man, it's just like, this has just got to be better, in my opinion. You just have to go for it. And I don't know what he's basing this off either, because the data shows Merino and Rice, I think they are 4-10. I saw something about it on Instagram. Those two, when they play together in the midfield, it already hasn't really, prompted the best results. And now with Zubimende, yes, they did it against Bilbao in the UCL, but this is Manchester City. No disrespect to them, but this is Manchester City. I just would have loved him to be a lot more attacking this game, because for me, that first half just felt like it was wasted. Just because, again, I understand not playing Saka in the first half because you want him, to come back from injury. You got to work him back in. But when it comes to, excuse me again, when it comes to Eze, this man is fit. He's been with the club now for a little bit. Why are we not taking the training wheels off? Take them off. It just pisses me off, and it just feels like, again, they wasted a first half, and they didn't need to. And I think if they didn't waste that first half, I honestly think Arsenal win the game. That's just my opinion. I know I'm biased, but, again, these points, maybe they decide the title. And this is something that we will come back to if it does. My only other gripe with Arteta really was I would have liked to see Trossard subbed off a little earlier. I know it's very, very nitpicky, but I just think he could have been subbed off a little earlier for Martinelli. That's just me, just my take. Something small, but just wanted to put it in there. And my last negative is Gabriel. And I don't usually talk about this guy ever in a negative standpoint, but for me personally, his lack of hustle on that play versus Haaland. Yes, he was hustling, but there's no way you should be getting outworked that bad by Haaland. Haaland was killing him from a pace standpoint. Also, you can't play like that if you're supposed to be marking Haaland. Obviously, Saliba was anticipating more support from Gabriel there. So, for me, that has to be cleaned up. And again, Gabby doesn't usually make these mistakes. But I got to say, Haaland has gotten the better of him and in this tandem just in general in the last couple games. So, I think that's why it's got to be better. And that's why I said in the defense, when I look at it from a defensive standpoint, I'm happy that they limited it to one goal, but at the same time, that goal came from a glaring mistake early on, and we'll talk about this just in a little bit with City. Just going to talk about them just for a little bit. City were playing a 5-4-1. They pretty much just said, we're not even looking to score. We're here for a draw, and we're here or just to be defensive, and we're playing on the counterattack. So the fact that you did let them do that on the counterattack, and you actually let them score, and you put them in the position that we were in, that's where I'm a little frustrated. But again, I'm not going to kill Gabriel. He is a great player. And again, he's still going against Haaland. It's not like there's some bum that just outworked him. But still, for a guy at that level, in my opinion, that mistake can't be happening. So yeah, now we'll talk about Manchester City real quick. Just a couple thoughts on them. Again, they played a 5-4-1. Declan Rice said he has not really seen them play that formation much, and it makes sense. This isn't really City's game, but they went for it, and I got to give them credit, which I know they didn't win the game, but they obviously came up with a clear plan. It was working till the 92nd minute of the game. So I got to give them a bunch of praise there. I thought they did a really good job defensively. Again, it was making it tough for Arsenal to really break that down. But again, when they played a little bit of a high line at the end, that's when Arsenal actually did beat him out. So overall, I thought it was a good, and I wouldn't say a good game plan from City. It's not necessarily the way I would want to play, but they executed their game plan and they did what they do, and they came in with a plan. They did it. So I got to give them credit for that. Of course, Haaland, I thought he did a great job when given the opportunity. He does score. He does a great job scoring against Arsenal. So again, this guy's inevitable. He does it every week. I don't know why people still... I don't know. I haven't heard much chatter about people doubting Haaland recently, because if you're doubting Haaland, respectfully, you don't know ball. You don't know ball. The guy does what he's supposed to do. He's a striker. His job is to put the ball in the net. That's literally his job. Who cares if it's flashy or not? Does he score goals? Yes, that's all that matters. So I thought Haaland did a good job. And I have to give praise to Donnarumma. Man, again... I said this was going to be a good signing for City. So many people were like, "Oh, can he play the ball out for City? Can he not play the long ball?" They'll figure that stuff out. And even if he can't, okay, maybe it's a little bit of an issue. But at the end of the day, when I am evaluating a goalkeeper, I am evaluating them on if they can make saves. That is their entire job. That's the entire position that they play. And I thought yesterday, especially at the end of that the end of the first half, he had some very, very big saves. There was a lot of pressure there, a lot of shots there from Arsenal, and he did a great job keeping his composure. Yes, of course, he did leave the goal open at the end where Martinelli does chip him. But at the end of the day, it was a fantastic finish from Martinelli, and also I think it was just a kind of a combination of him coming out a little bit too much and his defense kind of playing too high of a line, and it happened. But overall, I thought Donnarumma did a really good job. So yeah, that's really all I wanted to say about City. But yeah, that's all I had in this one. I'm happy that we got a point, but really I think this could have been more. And for me, most of the blame here, it's going to fall on Arteta. I really don't have many gripes with many of the players. It's just, again, what are you supposed to do when you're starting Trossard and you are playing 3 DMs? It's just like... This is going to be a long day. So, yeah, not satisfied with the result, but I will take it over a loss. We'll see what Arsenal do, but they will have Newcastle next, which, again, is never an easy one, especially for us recently. So we'll see how that goes. I'm looking forward to breaking that one down. But, yeah, that's all I had on this one. Like I said, if you made it to this point in the video, I really, really appreciate it. If you like this video, feel free to give it a like. Drop your thoughts down below in the comments. If you like my type of content, feel free to subscribe. And I have all my short-term content on my TikTok, and that is in the description down below. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace, guys.